My nips are literally about to fall out right now. Like, it's insane. To be honest, I've really never liked any of Buffbunny Collection's loose shorts. Oh yeah, I'm just an outlier with the bodysuit, I guess. Hello, the bright colorways are at full force now. Everybody has gotten the memo now that we are in full spring summer mode. Buffbunny Collection, as y'all know, did not come to play. This is their newest snack collection launching on May 18th at 1 p.m. Central Time. And I'm here to take you guys through all the details that you need to know about this collection. It's kind of a nod to the Sugar Rush collection as well as Dream House. All those brights and these fun silhouettes, prints, fabrics did not come to play. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Starting out with colors and patterns that are coming out. As I announce each color, I will also post respective color comparisons. So let's start out with like pinks, purples. We have Miss Candy Crush. I know a lot of you guys are wondering how that compares to Miss Crush from Paragon Fitwear, as well as Miami Vice actually, because all three of those colors are just so crazy. But I think Candy Crush definitely rivals both Crush from Paragon and Miami Vice Pink. In addition to that, we also have Miss Guava, which is what I'm wearing right now. She is this beautiful like pinky corally color, definitely leaning more on the pinky side of the coral like spectrum though. So this is my favorite color launching from the entire collection. I think she is so pretty, so girly, just like the perfect pop of pink. But next up we have Miss Pop Rocks, which is actually super similar to the previous Cake Pop Pink that launched in the Cake collection from last year. And last but not least, we have Party Purple, which again launched last year as well, just coming out in newer pieces, newer silhouettes. Last but not least, in terms of brights, we have Miss Airhead Aqua. She is bright. I actually compared this to Aqua Dream. I know a lot of you guys were interested about that, but Airhead Aqua is definitely brighter than Miss Aqua Dream. We also have neutrals, obviously, so white, bone, cold brew, and black. I've done color comparisons for bone and cold brew in the past, so I'll just insert them up here for you guys. We also have two prints, guys. So Fashun print is making a comeback. It first launched in the Dream House collection, and there were 5 colors in that one singular print, but it was a little bit difficult to mix and match with that specific pattern because I feel like it's just super niche to the colors that are included in that pattern, if that makes sense. But now each of these prints have only 3 colors in them. So starting off with Miss Pink Fashun print, as we can see, a lot of hot pinks in there, guys, and Candy Crush is actually the hottest pink in that colorway. So with there only being 3 colors and with them being also pink, it makes it a lot easier to mix and match across like different brands, let's say, or even different pinks that have launched before with Buffbunny Collection. Last but not least, we have Blue Fashun print. So we have H2O Blue in there, as well as Airhead Aqua. Wait, that's definitely 4 colorways. Party Purple, H2O Blue, Airhead Aqua, and then I don't know what the color underneath is, like the base layer of it, but yeah, that is definitely 4 colors in there. Sorry guys, but even that, like these colors are obviously blue colorways, which makes it really easy to mix and match. I'm actually really happy with the Fashun prints that have come out in this collection. All that to say, let's move on to fabrics. There are 4 fabrics that are coming out in this collection. There's Airbrush, which we have seen before in the Genesis collection that launched in January. It's a performance fabric, very matte, smooth to the touch, slippery, all the things. Very similar to Elysium, but I feel like it's just a little bit more lightweight and a little bit more wearable as well. Moving on, we have Butter and Nubre. I've talked about this a multitude of times now, so I'll just insert the little comparison up here for you guys to see. They're both brushed, both super soft on the body. Nubre is going to be a little bit more dense, whereas Butter is more lightweight, less compression, less support versus its counterpart, aka Nubre. And last but not least, we have Sleek Flow, which is shown in the little sway short that I have on right now. It is described as being lightweight, drapey fabric with a sleek shine for an elevated feel. And guys, this fabric is so dreamy. I love it. I feel like a princess wearing this, but maybe that's just a silhouette. But I mean, this is my favorite loose short that Buffbunny Collection has ever come out with. So I'm very excited to get into this piece. Those are all the fabrics that are coming out, you guys. Let's go ahead and move on to actual products that are coming. We have the Airbrush laser cut legging, a little bit similar to the previous one. There are obviously a couple differences in the actual laser details and where they're placed and stuff like that. In addition to obviously the fabric, as well as the waistband being that heat bonded waistband versus what we've seen before with Cake. We also have a new butter legging called the Silhouette legging, very similar to the previous butter legging, but it has a couple of different contour lines as well as a top seam. The Legacy legging is coming back, as well as the 6-inch short in so many colorways, which makes me so happy. But we also have the Silhouette 6-inch short, guys. It's actually listed as a 6.5-inch inseam, which is kind of crazy, but 6-inch options across the board. We love to see it because we've been needing that longer inseam. So thank you, Buffbunny Collection. And last but not least, for bottoms at least, we obviously have have the Sway short, which is our only loose short that is coming out. For tops and sports bras, we have the Glow sports bra, which should look very familiar because it's super similar to the double twist bra, the twisted sports bra, especially in the front detailing, right? We also have the Girlfriend Reversible sports bra coming back, which first launched in the Boyfriend collection, as well as the longer line version of it in the Reversible Nubre crop. We have two Airbrush laser bras coming out. We just have like the regular Airbrush laser bra, which is what I'm wearing right now. It is different from the one that previously launched in Cake, and I'll obviously go through all those details, but now we have a BTC version of that bra. I did pick it up because, I mean, just because it says BTC in the name doesn't mean that only BTC can wear it. It's just built for ladies with larger breasts, but anybody can wear any bra. Like, the name is just to distinguish it from like its regular, I guess, counterpart. And last but not least, guys, we have the new Legacy 6-inch bodysuit. So excited to launch into details about that because I know that all the athletes have been hyping up this bodysuit so much, and all of you guys are just obsessed with that bodysuit. So yeah, we're super excited about her. And last but not least, we obviously have the scrunchies coming back out. I feel like that's just a staple in every single collection now, as well as the dad hats. So, all that to say, FAQs are gonna be put on the screen right here, as well as any other details such as the highest to lowest compression chart. Measurements are boom, right here on the screen, as well as in the description. And you already know that every single time I discuss a piece, it'll also be listed via timestamps down in the description, so you can just skip through to the piece that you are eyeing. And very last thing, you already know how this goes if you've watched my reviews, but code Tracy saves you 10% off on all of your Buffbunny Collection orders and supports me and my relationship with the team. And I just love and appreciate you guys so much for all of the support that you've given throughout the entirety of our partnership. I truly love working with Buffbunny Collection so much, and it's all thanks to you guys that I have opportunities like this to provide content like this for you guys. So finally, let's get into the review. Let's just go ahead and start off with what I'm wearing, and then we'll just go down the line. I'm wearing the new Airbrush Laser sports bra in the color white size small. It launched last year in the Cake collection. Before, I think it was an Elysium fabric, so it was called the Lit Laser sports bra, whereas this is in obviously Airbrush fabric. I don't know if they're replacing Elysium with Airbrush, but that's what it seems like, honestly. But I'm here for it because I did not like Elysium at all, but we already knew that. If you are a longtime subscriber of this channel, it's just not my favorite fabric, but I really do like Airbrush. So I will go ahead and post graphics up here for you guys to see what those differences look like between these two bras. But right off the bat, there is a lot more bust coverage in this one. I am locked in and loaded and secure in this bra, you guys. There's nothing falling out whatsoever. I feel really, really good, really held in. And I would say that in terms of compression, it's a solid like medium compression on me. For support, I would also categorize this as about like a moderate to medium level of support on me. I would absolutely go running in this. And I usually wear higher neck sports bras to go running in, but this feels really good actually. And then just to talk about differences, turning to the back, there's a lot more coverage here as well. So before, the back of this bra was a little bit more minimal, and the area between this keyhole to the actual bottom band was less. So it was a lot more open in the back, whereas now everything's a little bit more closed while still having obviously the same type of details. So comparing this bra to the previous bra, I do like this one a little bit more because I just feel safer in this, right? Like any bra that's gonna be as minimal as, let's say, a girlfriend sports bra, it's just gonna be a little bit iffy, but with this, I feel good. So let's go ahead and chat details about this. It still does have a wide V-neck, a couple of laser details across the bust here, and it might look like there's no lining underneath, but there's actually a tan colored lining underneath here, which the other laser sports bra had as well, and I never liked that because for any other gals with lighter or darker complexions than I do, it might look a little bit weird, so I would have probably preferred if this was just a white lining underneath. There are pretty much no other details in the front here other than these two straps and then a very thin bottom band. There is just a little bit of stretch to it, which is what I'm saying, like it's definitely keeping me held in, keeping the girls up, raising my arms. There's nothing going up at all because there is a dedicated bottom band down here. And just to be safe, here's your gape test in a size small. I'm not even looking because I already know nothing's falling out in this bra. Turning to the side, there you go. It does come a little bit high up, I'm not gonna lie, but turning to the back, these two straps kind of like do this crisscross moment where the others just kind of stay straight, and then we obviously have that keyhole detail with a couple of more laser cut holes along the bra as well. But we can already see right here actually that my lats are spilling through. So if you're in between sizes for this bra, I would highly recommend sizing up. If I were to wear this to the gym for a couple hours and come home, there will definitely be red marks there. I just kind of feel it. These straps are comfortable, like it again really does make me feel held in. I just wish that they opened up the lat area a little bit more because that would have made a chef's kiss. Next up, we have the Airbrush Laser BTC bra in white size small, and right off the bat, this one's big, you guys, so I would definitely suggest sizing down if you're in between sizes. I'm typically gravitating between an extra small or a small because even though I'm a 32D, my bust isn't that full. Like I've talked about this time and time again, but one of Buffbunny Collection's models, Victoria, we have the same like bust size, but she's definitely a fuller 32D than I am, so I'm constantly gravitating between sizes. And in this case, for this bra, I would have preferred probably the size down just because it's running kind of big. Like I'm currently on the smallest setting because this does have like a hook and eye closure and it's like loose on me, guys. So let's just get that out of the way. But this bra is so interesting because whenever it came in the mail, there were like 2 pads in there that were like the, you know, little packing paper that they put, but they made it in the shape of the actual like mold of this, if that makes sense. So that way it doesn't get damaged via transit. Thank you, Buffbunny, because I really liked the thought. Anywho, all that to say, this bra does not have any removable cup pads or inserts. It is a molded cup pad, meaning that the shape of your bust is already molded into the fabric. Very similar to the twisted curve sports bra that launched in Catherine's collection, but I believe the team said that those pads were a little bit thicker and more sturdy, so they had a little bit more shape to them. Whereas this, whenever it came out the bag, I mean, it was pretty flimsy. You can actually see it right now that it's not nearly as structured or stiff as the ones in Catherine's twist curve bra was. You can definitely see like nip here, especially whenever I'm turned over. It's up to you guys to determine how comfortable or uncomfortable you are with that. Like you can obviously still feel that there's padding inside, but it just feels a lot less sturdy, if that makes any sense. We have a scoop neck versus a V-neck this time around, and the laser cut details are a little bit different. They are definitely screaming like boob. You know what I'm saying? Like these are where your titties sit. I don't know if I really like that because I'm like, wow, it's really like emphasizing the fact that there are boobs like sitting here. Otherwise, the inner lining is still the same, still gonna be that like tan type of color. The bottom band is actually folded underneath and then heat bonded in. So very similar to, let's say, like the airbrushed legging that also featured kind of this heat bonded type of detail, which I really like because I feel like it looks very sleek, very put together, while also having a more thin silhouette versus something that's a little bit more bulky with seams. But this does also have 1 strap versus 2. The hardware is also the same color as the garment, which I love that Buffbunny Collection does that because again, just kind of puts the whole look together, makes it look super cohesive. These straps are adjustable and they're very, very easy to adjust, you guys, but they're not going anywhere once you actually have them stay put wherever you want them. And because of that, the straps actually don't dig in at all, which we love. And in addition to that, these straps look super, super sleek and thin because they are also heat bonded. So you can kind of see where the glue is like holding them together in the middle right there. Turning to the back, we also have kind of like a keyhole moment, more laser cut details. So you don't really see any type of seams at all other than on the sides of the bra. It's actually very similar to the Wicked sports bra, I believe it was called, from Kara's collection. A lot of laser cut details. And then at the bottom right here, you have a hook and eye closure, and it also comes with obviously an extender. So if you needed it, you could extend it as well. I think if I were to get a size extra small, I would really like this bra because I mean, on me right now, it's a low compression bra, guys. That's what I'm saying. Like the bra one's big, so I'm not feeling really like compressed in here at all. All my titties are bouncing around, and then I'm gaping so much in this bra. Like I wore it on a walk this morning and I was like, ew, that's a little bit dangerous. This is what it looks like on the side right here. So yeah. Next up, now in butter fabric, we have the Glow sports bra in a size small in Guava. Once again, my favorite colorway that's coming out. I think she is just so pretty. I ended up sticking with the same size that I get for the twisted sports bra as well as the double twist sports bra because I think I've sized down in both of those bras before and I didn't have enough space in the bust, you guys. So definitely size up if you're in between sizes versus down. This bra again has very similar details to the double twist sports bra in the front, especially because you have that, you know, plunging V-neck, very similar like twist design right here. And then you have no bottom band. Once again, like it's just 2 pieces of fabric being folded on the inside, I guess. Whenever you're raising your arms and whatnot, there will eventually be some like under boob, as you can see, literally right there. But in terms of like the gape test, I don't really have any issues with this at all because butter fabric typically kind of like molds to my body and sits really well, actually. So here's your gape test on the side. In terms of support, I don't even want to like run or do anything because it's a low support, you guys. We're not gonna jump around in this. We're not gonna do any type of like running at all. This is solely used for weight training purposes, and it's a beautiful bra for back day, I must say. But turning to the side, we just have the Buffbunny Collection silicone raised logo. Once again, majority of these pieces actually have the tonal silicone logo, so thank you, Buffbunny Collection. Turning to the back, it's where it gets a little bit spicy. So these straps cross in the back, they're very thin straps, and then the bottom band actually cuts off and also twists. There's a little bit of digging in my lats, but it's nothing as crazy as the Airbrush laser sports bra. And a big difference between this and the previous double twist bra is that the double twist bra, the side seams were double lined, meaning there wasn't a top seam at all, whereas this definitely has a top seam, which is why I think it's digging in just ever so slightly in my lats. If in between sizes, definitely size up. Otherwise, it is true to size. Next up, I have the reversible Nubre crop in the color Candy Crushed, and on the reverse side, we have the pink fashion print. This crop is super similar to the Girlfriend sports bra, although there are a couple of like differences in the measurements, and I'll put them up here for you guys to see. Right off the bat, it is definitely wider in the overall bust length, as well as just having a wider neckline overall. I don't know why they did that. Dude, when I tell you that my nips are literally about to fall out right now, like they are just skimming the sides of this top, it's insane. I don't know like how you guys' areolas look, and I'm not about to talk about mine, but if you have like, you know, pretty big areolas, then they might fall through in this bra. You know what I'm saying? This is terrifying for me right now. Although you have that like definitely full side coverage, you're just lacking anything right here, which is super scary. I don't like this top just for that reason alone, because this is just so scandalous. It's just a terrifying experience, you guys. I'm like sweating right now. Other than that, like it does have similar features to the Girlfriend reversible sports bra in the sense of the neckline, thin straps, full coverage, reversible aspect, but in this case, it does have a longer band right here with a little keyhole for design purposes and a little bit of ventilation as well. We have good stretch in the band here. It's made of Nubre fabric, which is typically a very stretchy brushed fabric. Straps are super stretchy as well, and I feel like it just goes without saying that this is a low support sports bra, top, whatever you want to call it. Oh God, this is terrifying. Gape test. Okay, I am good to go here with the gape test, although bending over is terrifying. No gaping on the side right here either. Again, very similar to the Girlfriend sports bra. We have the two thin straps that cross in the back. Instead of having one crisscross for the band back here, it is now two, just to account for the additional length. But otherwise, all the other details are fairly similar. And then on both sides, actually, you have a silicone logo instead of embroidered like the Girlfriend sports bra does. I do like how open the back of this top is. Like, it is a very beautiful looking back. My only qualm is the fact that the front is literally so lacking in the coverage department. I'm like, dude, give me another centimeter. Like, even if I had another centimeter, I would be good to go. But this top is just so terrifying. Like, I literally don't know how else to like word that. I went with my bigger size versus smaller. I don't know how going down to an extra small would be, solely because with it being less material overall, I feel like my nips would actually show. And I think that's the predicament that I had for the Girlfriend sports bra. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that if you're in between sizes, maybe consider sizing up, so that way you just have incrementally more bust coverage overall. Like, sizing up is just gonna make their measurements more proportional to that size. So I would rather have more coverage than less coverage, which is why I'm sticking with this size. I wouldn't want to size down personally. Next up, the short line version of this, I've already reviewed this, is the Girlfriend reversible bra that first launched in the Boyfriend collection. I'm wearing Pop Rocks, and then on the reverse side is Party Purple, and this combo with this outfit is kind of speaking to me. I'm not gonna lie. We can see here that I feel so much more secure in this version than I did in the crop, because there's just a little bit more coverage in the bust area. Like, it's definitely still minimal, obviously, but I feel a lot more held in, and the overall bust length or width is shorter as well. So yeah, like this one a lot more. It also has a tag that you can, you know, take off really easily as well, which you'll see right there. And then here is Miss Airhead Aqua, as well as the blue fashion print. And this is just so freaking bright, you guys, but sizing is in that little like side tab right there. So really hope that helps. Next up, we have the Legacy 6-inch shorts. I have talked about these shorts time and time again on this channel, so I'm not gonna spend too long on it. But the part that we wanna see the most are probably gonna be like the squat tests and whatnot. But as you can see here, actually, no, I need to talk about this first, because Airhead Aqua does fit a little bit more loosely than the other colors did. Like, out out of everything, this one felt the most loose. Not enough for me to size up, but I just noticed that I didn't feel as compressed in this as I did in, let's say, Party Purple. Party Purple was definitely the tightest colorway out of all of these, but anywho, yeah, details about this short. It has the tri-arch detail in the back, no front seam, good thigh opening, so it's definitely thick thigh friendly. I'm squatting with a nude thong right there, and I was good to go. But here's your little Macy's gift card test, and you can definitely see the star, the white in it, and everything, but you can't see my skin or my thong at all. So I still think that if we're wearing a nude thong, we should be good to go. This color combo is crazy. So sorry, I mean, it low-key kind of works though, but I probably wouldn't pair the two together. But just want to show you guys underneath that print that there is the lightest base color in there, so it is not white, by the way. But I think this color is so flattering. First of all, it's my favorite color out of the two prints that we have. We are good to go in a nude thong here, but with the Macy's gift card test, you can actually see that white a lot. Like, it is very stark against what seems to be my skin tone, or like shearing out of the fabric even standing. But honestly, like, I didn't see anything with a nude thong, so I think we should be good to go there with a nude thong. But once again, Party Purple, I'm telling you guys that it's tight because it definitely is the tightest color out of all three, with, you know, pink fashion print being in the middle. And then this is probably the most opaque color out of the legacy bottoms I'm trying on today. With the Macy's gift card, you can kind of see a little bit, like I have to really stretch it out to see the star, but I think like in a nude thong, we are more than good to go. Good for legs, good for just any type of movement. Next up, guys, we have the Silhouette 6.5-inch short in the color Guava size extra small. I paired her with Airhead Aqua, and this by far is my favorite color combo because I don't know, just the contrast between these colors is to die for. So I'm obsessed. This is a new legging to Buffbunny Collection. It obviously is modeled after the curved legging, seeing as we have these contour seams right here, more delicate piping in the waistband. There is a slight V here. This waistband is double lined for the front panel at least, but once you get to the actual contour lines is whenever it transitions over to a top band. I don't know how I feel about this top band. I'm assuming they put it here to help with the legging staying put, you know, instead of like sliding down. It definitely sits naturally at the smallest portion of my waist, but whenever I'm initially putting it on, it wants to sit a little bit higher. Like, that's what would make it sit smoothly on me, but I just know that it's supposed to sit like right here because that's where the front of the waistband is sitting on me as well. It is a high-rise legging, meaning that it's sitting at the smallest portion of my waist. The stitching at the top here is a little bit thicker, and it transitions over to piping along the side, as well as like in the inseam right here. And I actually don't like how that sits because it's a little bit on the thicker side. You can kind of tell from the front that it's jutting out a little bit right there. So it's causing a little bit of like weird wrinkling near the actual crotch area. But yeah, just a lot of like seam details going on right here. The thigh opening, oh my gosh, is so not loose per se, but it's just sitting there. I think you'll be able to see this in the montage where I'm like actually just holding up the leggings, because you can kind of tell that the bottom here kind of flares out versus being a straight leg opening. Absolutely no type of digging in whatsoever. It's actually super, super comfortable. And this is sitting at a 6.5-inch inseam. At least it says so in the PDF. I haven't done any measurements yet, so I will confirm that via, you know, a graphic up here for you guys. You can play around with the material super easily because, again, butter fabric is just so lightweight that you really can manipulate it to sit however you want it to. Let me just pull this all the way down though and do a little squat test for you guys. Yeah, I can already feel it riding up actually. So it definitely rides up very easily actually. I didn't even have to do the lunges for me to be able to tell that it already rode up. So this is what the original length is looking like. It's kind of around the same length as the Legacy 6-inch short, where it's sat right below the largest part of my thigh. You still have a good amount of coverage underneath your glutes, so not worried about showing cheek or anything there. Not only do you have thin piping detail with a super exaggerated glute seam, you have a dual glute seam. This stitch is just barely noticeable unless you're looking like super close, but it's still there for sure. It curves up and around your glutes, still sits at the top of my glutes, so there's no digging in even with that bottom seam. It curves around to the side and then comes around your glutes and just kind of stops. And then there is this little like stitch right there to signify that we're ending. I don't necessarily know how I feel about that stitch because it's not like it's digging in or causing a dip or anything at all in the leggings, but I probably would have just preferred if it kind of like tapered into a stop, I guess. But I don't know anything about, you know, their stitching, so I don't know how that could be possible. Either way, super flattering, you guys. And again, this material just makes it super easy for you to manipulate these leggings to fit however you want them to. With a top band, I'm not gonna ever like a top band, but I do see the purpose of why it's there and that it's meant to keep the leggings up. If I were to do a top band, I would definitely prefer for it to sit like in the back versus the front, which is what this did. Squat test for you guys in a nude thong. I think that this actually does not pass the squat test because we can see my skin right there whenever it's stretched. So luckily the top of my undies kind of sit right at the seam, so my skin isn't showing through at all, but you can definitely tell that that's my skin, that's the panty. So it does not pass the stand test, you guys. Let me get this Macy's gift card because this is not gonna pass. So yeah, you can see that clear as day. So squat test with the Macy's gift card. Yeah, so wear a nude thong that matches your skin tone, because again, I'm wearing a nude thong that's like a cream color, so you can definitely see whenever there's a stark contrast like that. But if I were to wear a nude thong that actually matches my skin tone, I feel like I would be more than good to go. In terms of sizing, I would definitely say that it's true to size and to size down it in between, just because this fabric is so stretchy. There's so much give to it. Even with the top band, like this waistband is still super stretchy and forgiving. So yeah, definitely true to size or size down if in between. All right guys, next up we have the silhouette legging in the color Pop Rocks, size extra small. I think this and Guava is the only color combo that I haven't shown yet. So here we have it. But this legging is a little bit different than the shorts actually. It's still gonna have that high-waisted waistband with the double-lined fabric at the front panel right here. And then once it gets to the sides, then it transitions over into a top band, so that way it keeps the legging up. But just like the shorts, it's gonna have some super thin piping detail right here. It still has the same, you know, super exaggerated glute seam, the dual thinner seams in the back that curve along the glutes. I didn't mention this before, but they both have a silicone tonal logo, which again, we love, but the main difference is in the side panel right here, because for these shorts, you kind of have this thicker seam up here at the waistband, and once it gets past, then it transitions over into this piping detail. Whereas right here, it seems like the fabric in the back is kind of like folded on top of the front, and then it's kind of sewn in all the way to the bottom actually, and it curves in the front, very similar to the actual, you know, curve legging. I actually don't really like that. It's a little bit bulky in my opinion, and it definitely juts out. You can, you know, see it jutting out right there. I would have just preferred if the side seams were this piping detail versus what they're doing right here, but this is shown on both sides as we can see, so it's just a little bit too thick. And then the inner seam right here is reminiscent of the legacy legging stitching as well, where it's just a little bit thicker versus the shorts having this piping detail along the inside that again also juts out. So yeah, a couple differences in the seams right there. And then I also feel like the leggings are just the slightest bit more snug than the shorts are, and it's still a low compression. Don't get me wrong, but it definitely feels like it's molding to my body a little bit better than the shorts are, just because again, the shorts just are a little bit wide, and the material, there's just a lot to play around with whenever it comes to these shorts. It rides up really easily as well, whereas again, with the leggings, I feel a little bit better wearing them. Whenever it comes to what I prefer, I'm typically a shorts gal, but with the way that these seams are, I don't know, it's just a little bit too big of a thigh opening that causes it to ride up so much that I might prefer the leggings, which is like a little bit weird of me to say. Let's go ahead and do a squat test for these in a nude thong. I already did a stand test and I did not see my thong through it at all. So there you go. And then where's my Macy's gift card? Oh, all right, let's see. Yeah, I can still see the card. I can see like the red along the little Macy's store as well. Yeah, your safest bet, especially with butter, because it's such a thin fabric, is to just wear a nude underwear. But this is what the length is looking like on me. Super happy with how these turned out. Whether I prefer curve or this one, I honestly like both. This one's just a little bit different in terms of the details on the glutes as well as the top band, but overall, they're both still super cute. Oh, and lastly, for sizing, still true to size. But if you're in between size down, the last pair of bottoms that I have, AKA my favorite, saving the best for last, like this is my #1 top pick out of the entire collection. And you need this. I'm sorry, like I don't like to say that because I'm like, I don't want to feed into the FOMO marketing of all of this, but the hype is real for the sway shorts, guys. I'm wearing Guava in a size extra small. I also have Pop Rocks in a size extra small, and I love this piece so much. It is probably one of, if not my favorite loose shorts to ever exist. Holy crap. Okay, so first of all, it's made of the new flow fabric. I don't know if they're meaning this outer shell is flow fabric or the inner shell is, because they are two vastly different different, I guess, vibes, feelings, whatever, because first of all, we have this outer shell layer that is extremely stretchy, forgiving. It has four-way stretch to it, and it just, you know, flows really well. It just kind of drapes on you, just like they said, and there's no stiffness to this at all. Whenever you first look at these, it just looks like you're wearing a skirt. It doesn't look like you're wearing a pair of shorts at all, and I love that. But along the side, it has this super deep scoop detail that folds over to the back portion of this, so it just looks very like princessy. We love a good little scallop detail that is a little bit unique. The back is the exact same as the front. This waistband feels like the same fabric as this like flowy fabric, but it is a rather thick elastic that definitely has an end stretch to it. She is kind of a stiff waistband, and in the PDF, the model was wearing a size extra small, and from what I've seen, she's typically a size small in bottoms, so I thought that these ran big and that I needed to size down, so I asked for a double extra small. That hole was tight. It fit me a little bit too snug, so definitely just in terms of sizing, stick true to size. They fit very true to size, or size up if in between. That aside, there are no adjustments at all, so the inner portion of the waistband is the same as the outside portion. I can definitely see this like wrinkling a little bit weirdly in the wash though, so as you're like taking this on and off and stuff like that, if it folds really weird, then you're gonna be able to see that crease because of the nature of this waistband being that like thicker elastic, if that makes sense. This inner short lining is super durable actually. I feel held in, and it's a little bit of a thicker material as well, so there's not really a lot of like riding up or anything at all, which is so crazy because in the previous Lifesaver shorts, I've reviewed them before. I hated those shorts, guys. I could not stand those shorts because the inner short lining was just so short that like after 2 squats, it was halfway up my glutes. My entire cheek was showing. It was not the move. To be honest, I've really never liked any of Buffbunny Collection's loose shorts up until this one. Anywho, I digress. Yeah, the inner short lining is not gonna be your super thin, lightweight, breathable, airy spandex lining. No, it is extremely durable. It's definitely on the thicker side. You can tell that like it has a good amount of bounce back where it's gonna stay put wherever you leave it. Has 2 side pockets, the Buffbunny Collection silicone logo on the left hand side, and then I was able to fit my phone in here, take it in and out just fine with no issues whatsoever. It's a big pocket, you guys, and I have an 11 Pro Max, so for it to slide in and out as easily as it did is insane. Love that detail, and because the scallop goes all the way to the top, having to just pull your phone out and stuff like that makes it a lot easier versus shorts that have a stitch at the bottom of the scallop, because if it had a stitch down here or if the scallop wasn't, you know, way up, then you're having to pull up the entire fabric to get your phone, as an example. Whereas this, because it's so open, it just allows for you to easily reach for things, if that makes any sense. There's no front seam in this inner lining at all. You can definitely see my skin through here though, so I mean, not that you're seeing this inner layer anyway, but just wanted to note that. I believe the inseam is a 4-inch inseam, and then the back does have a this is so weird. I feel like every single time I lift up loose shorts to show the inner lining, it's just so vulgar for whatever reason, but anywho, it does have a back seam. It doesn't do anything to separate the glutes though. I definitely have uni butt, but I'm not really trying to wedge this up my glutes either, but let's go ahead and do a couple squats, because again, I walked in this and it definitely rode up, but once it hits the largest part of my thigh, it pretty much just stayed put the entire time, and I would take the dogs on like 20-25 minute walk and it would just stay right here. I truly love these shorts so much, you guys. Like, I have nothing but good things to say about them. Alrighty guys, last but not least, I know y'all been waiting for this one, so I'm sorry that I saved it for last, but I have the Legacy 6-inch bodysuit in the color Bone, as well as Cold Brew. We've already done squat tests and such for Miss Cold Brew, so I might as well wear the color that I know you guys are more interested in, which is Bone, just because of the sheerness, or hopefully lack thereof. But okay, Legacy bodysuit. She is everybody's fan favorite. That is for sure. We have this very wide scoop neck detail, thin straps that just kind of reminds me of a spaghetti strap top, which I don't like spaghetti strap tops. So to put that in a bodysuit, I'm like bound to not really care for it or like it, because it's just not my style. I just prefer for my straps to be thicker when I'm wearing tanks and bodysuits and such, which is why typically whenever I do wear bodysuits, you see me wearing the ones with like thicker straps. So anywho, yeah, not my favorite cut by any means, because I also feel like these straps, they are very stretchy. Don't get me wrong, but I have to adjust them very tightly because either way, I am gaping in this neckline, even though I am wearing a size extra small, which is for one, my jumpsuit size. But even if this was made into a bra, I would already size down just seeing the neckline alone. So with extra small being the size that I usually gravitate to for wider neck tops and sports bras, for me to still gape in this is really telling. I'm just like, I'm not gonna be wearing this as much as I probably want to, just because again, I'm gonna have to tighten the straps a lot for me to feel like supported and held in and potentially not have any more gaping versus having it sit loose, which is where it's sitting at right now, and then having gaping. So yeah, wide neckline, thin straps. There's also a little bit of digging into my armpits right here as well because there is like a side seam along here, so it's kind of pinching in ever so slightly. We come down to a tapered waist, and then we have a seam that separates the top from the bottom as well. It kind of dips in the middle too to give you that like little hourglass illusion. Going all the way down to the bottom, there is a 6-inch inseam right here, which is my preferred inseam length. I'm just so glad that this is like a 6-inch inseam friendly collection. Just very similar to how the Legacy shorts and leggings feel. There's no digging at all in the thighs. Like it feels really, really nice, but I feel like this bodysuit just wants to sit flush. You know what I'm saying? Like if I were to make this go a little bit higher to sit at my preferred Legacy short length, for example, I don't know. I feel like that looks a little bit weird, but also like whenever I'm bending over, then I mean obviously there's gonna be a little bit of wrinkling here and there with this fabric.
Hello, editing Tracy from the future here. Just wanted to pop in and say that I'm about to tell you guys that I think, you know, I'm annoyed by the fact that there's wrinkling when I'm bending over. That's not the issue. Now that I'm looking back at the footage, I think the real issue is that even as I'm standing, which you'll obviously see later down in the clip, is that there's wrinkling even as I'm standing, which kind of leads me to believe that this bodysuit is very much long torso gal friendly, but not so much for short torso gals, because while yes, I could easily just, you know, tighten the strap and it'll just pull everything up. Again, the straps are gonna start to dig into my traps. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just continue.
In addition to that, because the Legacy portion of this has a little seam going down the sides, there is a little bit of wrinkling where the tri-arch seams meet the side seams, if that makes sense. So all these 3 seams right here that are coming to the side, there's a little bit of wrinkling that we can see from the front that also makes it not sit as flat. Like it's not gonna be nearly as bad as like the micro Legacy shorts and leggings, because those, like it just literally sat like this, folded over like in on itself, but this one isn't as extreme, although it is still there. So I wanted to make a note of that. But the shorts portion of this is single lined, whereas the top portion of this from this seam up is double lined. This top does not have a shelf bra. There's just a little seam at the bottom of the bust right here. And then there's a seam to separate the cup pads so that they don't like go from side to side, but that's it. So you're not getting any sort of like support in this. The only level of support that you're getting is in the straps, which is why I'm saying like I have to tighten it to get any sort of lift and support at all, which will then, in my opinion, alleviate some of the gaping that I'm experiencing right now. And then in terms of like, yeah, this is gonna be a low support. Turning to the back, it is very open. Like the straps kind of come and cross, meet kind of like at your lats right here. And then everything else is very open. Similar to the corset bodysuit, it does have like a seam down here to kind of keep everything locked in place. But obviously it's not nearly as low as the corset bodysuit is. I feel like it was a solid 3 inches lower than what this is at. And then you also have here the silicone tonal logo with the tri-arch seam that makes the Legacy leggings and shorts what they are. Very flattering. I do like the cut and everything, but it's just this portion that I don't really F's with. I also wanted to note that, you know, I love the design in the back, obviously with it being super open, but there is a little bit of like looseness where this portion is. So that's a little bit awkward. It's not enough for me to like rule it out. It's just something that I've noticed where, yeah, you can definitely see that it's not sitting flush. This does fit very true to size. So whatever size you typically get in bodysuits, stick with that size. But otherwise, I would say to go with your leggings size because the top is adjustable. Literally the reason I'm here is to do a squat test, and I ended the, you know, clip without doing a squat test. Anywho, nude thong. Alrighty, how am I gonna put this in my cheek? Oh yeah, that definitely shows through very, very clearly. So, squat test with the Macy's gift card. You can see that. Alrighty friends, that about wraps it up for everything that is coming out in the snack collection, launching again May 18th at 1 p.m. Central Time. Now let's go ahead and talk top picks, top colorways. Top colorway for me is absolutely gonna be Guava. My favorite print out of the two is gonna be the pink Fashun print. My next top color would have to be Airhead Aqua. And again, I feel like the combination of Airhead Aqua and Guava is chef's kiss. And then in terms of top pieces, I really, really like the sway short. I feel like I didn't have to say that. And then of course you have the Legacy 6-inch shorts, and I do like the silhouette leggings over the shorts. Once again, I would say those three are my top picks. I'm just an outlier with the bodysuit, I guess, because it is nice. It is nice. It's this neckline. I can't. There's just, yeah, the gaping is crazy, so I can't do it. But yeah, there you have it, guys. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video, found it helpful. I am filming this so freaking late, so I really hope that I'm able to get this up in time for you guys, because I have to start prepping for my New York trip this Saturday. Anywho, again, code Tracy to save 10% off if you want to support me for this launch and are thinking of shopping. Obviously, your support means the world to me. Thank you so, so much for supporting me if you choose to do so. Definitely follow me over on my Instagram at TracyBFit, because I will be running a Q&A on my stories as per usual. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos coming your way so soon. I think my next video is gonna be my New York vlog. Like this video if you enjoyed it and you wanna see more from me, but until then, I will talk to you guys later. So, bye!